PR Connections Radio presents
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vegas Hockey Hub Recap here on PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. And what a interesting show we have. I wasn't going to say great show, because a great show indicates that the Vegas Golden Knights won. It's going to be an interesting show because you're going to have the Vegas Golden Knights and the Anaheim Ducks playing at the pond. It used to be the Arrowhead Pond, now the Honda Center out there in Anaheim. And you know what? It was a very interesting game in this turn of events that happened in the game. But there's plenty to go over on this recap of what we're talking about tonight. And let's start out by talking about PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. We have about a dozen shows on the network, so if you want to go to the website, PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. There's Vegas Hockey Hub. There's a bunch of great shows on there. Fantastic, amazing shows on PRConnectionsRadio.com. I highly recommend going out and checking it out. If you also want to go onto the YouTube channel, PR Connections Radio, they have all the content uploaded on there. Vegas Hockey Hub is uploaded every single day, Monday to Friday. Vegas Golden Knights recap shows, player profiles on Vegas Golden Knights players, and then we also have our stuff that we do NHL related throughout the year. But yeah, Vegas Golden Knights, we talk about that here on Vegas Hockey Hub on the YouTube channel, PR Connections Radio. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. I highly recommend it. And if you are here on the Vegas Hockey Hub YouTube channel, welcome in. If you want to like this video and share it to all your friends all around the world, I would highly recommend doing so. It always supports the channel. It's always good bringing in new people to Vegas Hockey Hub on the YouTube channel. If you want to go to the social media pages at Vegas Hockey Hub, we are on all social media sites. We're everywhere. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We are everywhere we need to be. All the platforms, we are there on Vegas Hockey Hub, at Vegas Hockey Hub. And you want to follow your host at Ian Rachiele 18. That is on social media. I am always on there. I'm live tweeting games every single time the Golden Knights are playing. So let's get into the pre-game notes for the Golden Knights and the Ducks. Caden Korczak is back in the lineup after being taken out a few games ago for Braden Bahal. He is now back in, and Alec Martinez is now back out for the Vegas Golden Knights. So it was going to be an interesting change. Alec Martinez, once again, out of the lineup. We know about his injury concerns and all the injuries that he has suffered preseason, regular season, you name it. So Alec Martinez being out of the lineup is unfortunate, but the young Caden Korczak is getting more reps, getting more time on the ice for the Vegas Golden Knights. And the goalie, who is 5-0 to begin the year, the backup goalie, the all-star goalie from last year, Logan Thompson, in net for the Vegas Golden Knights. And Logan Thompson was set to do a pretty good performance against Anaheim. John Gibson, who has the most losses against the Vegas Golden Knights as a goalie, would be in net for the Anaheim Ducks. And to start out the game, it would be on a good start for the Vegas Golden Knights as Ivan Barbashev, with goal 4 of the season. Jack Eichel with the assist. I mean, Jack Eichel just doing an incredible job on the first line, regardless if he's scoring 2 goals against Colorado or picking up an assist in this game. It just seems like Jack Eichel's always in the best place at the right time. And Jack Eichel, good setup there to Barbashev. And Jack Eichel so far, what else can I say? Except for the fact that Jack Eichel this year is definitely a top 5 player for the Golden Knights. Because look, Shea Theodore, and this is my opinion, Shea Theodore is the best player Vegas has this year. He is the MVP. William Karlsson is second. William Karlsson's top 2. But then after that, you can really start breaking it down. Chandler Stevenson's doing well, 10 points already on the year. Mark Stone almost averaging a point per game. Jack Eichel averaging over a point per game. There's a lot of good players that are doing there. Brayden McNabb, one of the best defensive guys the Vegas Golden Knights have. But yeah, Jack Eichel this year, 14 points, averaging a point per game for the Vegas Golden Knights. And late in the first period, Adam Henrique and William Carrier, they had a bit of a situation, which got a minor penalty for both William Carrier and Adam Henrique, as they both got minor penalties to end the first period. And then to kick off the second period, Jack Eichel, who I mentioned earlier, with his 6th goal of the season, assisted by Braden McNabb and Shea Theodore. So the Vegas Golden Knights were up 2-0 in the first 2 periods. I like the energy that Vegas had. Vegas showed a lot of good energy. They were going down the ring, very good back and forth. And I will say for Vegas, Jack Eichel was doing his job for the Vegas Golden Knights. He did a pretty good job. In fact, he would be player of the game if we were doing that for the Anaheim Ducks and Vegas Golden Knights. He would be player of the game for Vegas. And, when it comes to Anaheim and Vegas, we knew there was going to be some physicality. There was going to be some back and forth, and there definitely was. There was a few times in the game where you had some pushbacks. There was some shoving, some scrums after the play. And, yeah, there was definitely some good moments in this game with the back and forth between Vegas and Anaheim. And you know what? I will say for Adam Henrique, the guy who had a minor penalty in the first period, the second period definitely picked up for Anaheim. They were showing some signs of life, as Sam Carrick had a tripping penalty against Ivan Barbashev in the second period. Then you had Mark Stone, who did a tripping penalty against Sam Carrick a few minutes later. And then with about 1 minute left in the second period, Braden Bahal had an interference penalty against, who else? Sam Carrick. I don't know what it is about Sam Carrick, but he was everywhere tonight. He was all over for the Anaheim Ducks. And in the third period, the Anaheim Ducks would come to life, as less than 2 minutes into the third period, Adam Henrique would score his second goal of the season, assisted by Cam Fowler and Frank Vitrino. It would make it a 2-1 game for the Vegas Golden Knights. Still leading, still up at this point. But you know what? It'd be interesting to see what would happen for the Vegas Golden Knights and the Anaheim Ducks in between this game. Now, that Sam Carrick guy that I mentioned, he was in the game, had multiple moments. I wonder if he would score a goal. Oh, wait, he would score a goal, as in the 10 minutes into the last period, Sam Carrick, with his second goal of the season, made it a 2-2 game for Vegas and Anaheim. And you know what? For Vegas, this is actually where the momentum started to kind of go down for the Anaheim Ducks. As 1 minute later, the young, up-and-coming Mason McTavish would actually score for the Anaheim Ducks, and he actually would end up making it a 3-2 game. And I will say for Mason McTavish, this is somebody that I look at and go, you know what? Mason McTavish, part of the young core, the young movement out there at Anaheim. As Mason McTavish scores his 4th goal of the season, Frank Vitrino and Ilya Lyubushkin with his assist on the game. So Anaheim would be up 3-2, as Mason McTavish would end up scoring the goal there. And you know what? Mason McTavish has a lot of bright future ahead of him. Him scoring the go-ahead goal just kind of brought that back in. And then less than 2 minutes left in the third period, Sam Carrick, once again, with his second goal of the game, 3rd goal of the season, assisted by Cam Fowler and Troy Terry, and that would wrap it up and make it a 4-2 for Anaheim over Vegas. And really the main takeaway of this is that Golden Knights blew a 2-0 lead. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate how Vegas blew a 2-0 lead against Anaheim. And I'm going to say that the main reason why this happened, I'm not going to go, hey, back-to-back games, it happens in the NHL. But I say the reason why it happened is that the Golden Knights simply looked worn out. All that energy they had in the first period and second period was deflated. All that energy was just gone by the last period. I mean, Vegas Golden Knights were trying. I mean, I give them credit. They were trying to be a good team. They were trying to win against Anaheim, but they just looked depleted. Like, this was a Vegas Golden Knights team in the last period, just did not do well enough against Anaheim. And one of the main reasons why they blew a 2-0 lead and ended up losing the game 4-2. And as everybody's going to be mentioning, yes, this is the first loss in regulation for the Vegas Golden Knights, as the Anaheim Ducks did beat them in regulation. Now, as we recall, a few games ago, Chicago Blackhawks gave them their first overtime loss, but it wasn't a regulation loss. So the Vegas Golden Knights are 11-1-1 on the season. Now, I will give props where props is due. Adam Henrique was everywhere for Anaheim. Adam Henrique did a fantastic job for Anaheim. Now, this is the same Adam Henrique who had special moments in New Jersey and is an established veteran here in Anaheim. So for the Vegas Golden Knights, what is next for them? What is next for the Vegas Golden Knights after the Anaheim Ducks game? Well, their schedule for this upcoming week, 2 days from now, they're going to be taking on the Los Angeles Kings. It will be at the Fortress at T-Mobile Arena. And then November 10th, they'll be taking on their bitter rival San Jose Sharks at T-Mobile Arena on Friday. And then after, they're going to be entering a 5-game road trip for Vegas. So from November 16th to November 22nd, the Vegas Golden Knights are going to be on the road, 5 games in a row. It's going to be a really good road trip for Vegas. You're going to be taking on some established teams like Washington and Alex Ovechkin, Montreal and Nick Suzuki, Philadelphia and Carter Hart, Pittsburgh and Sidney Crosby, and then finally Dallas and Jake Ottinger. And I will also point out for everybody who's watching, the LA game and the Dallas game will be on primetime. It will be on TNT. So you don't have to watch it on Scripps Sports if you don't have Channel 34. No problem. They will have it on TNT against LA and against Dallas. And for the Vegas Golden Knights, I mean, this is just a situation where I see this team as somebody who had that 7-0 shutout against Colorado. That was a brilliant game. You go up against Anaheim, and you fall just a bit short. Now, you have your first regulation loss. The question's going to be, does Vegas rebound against LA? Does the Golden Knights rebound and find a way to win against LA? Or does the Anaheim loss start a ripple effect and start a downward spiral for Vegas? Now, hopefully, for all Vegas Golden Knights fans' sake, it is the first. That the LA Kings is a win. That they rebound, they recover from the Anaheim loss, and they go back and they go to LA, they play the Golden Knights, and they actually win in that game, the Golden Knights do. So I will say for the Vegas Golden Knights organization, you're 11-1-1. You are the best team in all hockey. There's really no, I don't see any insecurity in saying that you lost one game. And especially the fact that you have lost only 2 games in the first 13 games. I mean, really, the only team that's on the same level as you is Boston out there in the Eastern Conference. I mean, Boston is 9-1-1. Vegas is 11-1-1. So you could say that Vegas is the best team in hockey. There should be no dispute. So no dispute there. So as we're talking about the NHL here on Vegas Hockey Hub, we were talking about the Golden Knights and Ducks recap show. Now we're going to spend the next 15 minutes kind of going over the NHL, what we are noticing about the world of hockey right now. So in the Pacific Division, Vegas Golden Knights are leading 11-1-1, the best record in the NHL, best team in hockey. There is no doubting that the Vegas Golden Knights, whatever Stanley Cup curse or Stanley Cup hangover, it doesn't exist for the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, second place in the Pacific Division is Vancouver. And Vancouver has been a surprise. Vancouver is 8-2-1 on the year. And for Vancouver, they've done exceptionally well. And I say a lot of that. A lot of Vancouver and why they're doing so well is because of goaltending. Thatcher Demko has done a stand-up job so far. Casey DeSmith as the backup, he comes in every once in a while. He's done well as well. But Thatcher Demko has kind of reinvented himself. He looked like he's the guy from the bubble in 2020. So Vancouver's doing exceptionally well, but it's mostly due to goaltending. The goaltending is standing out for Vancouver. Now, next in the standings is the Anaheim Ducks. They are 7-4. And I will say for Anaheim, since we got to see them just very recently, I was wrong about Anaheim. When I made my NHL predictions video, I assumed that the Anaheim Ducks, the young movement, the young core, was not going to be here yet. I assumed that it was going to take a long time for the Anaheim Ducks to eventually gel as a unit. Oh boy, was I wrong about Anaheim. I was 100% wrong. As the Anaheim Ducks, Ryan Strome has been their best player this year. Mason McTavish has turned out to be the guy a lot of people assumed he was going to be. Troy Terry has done well. You also have a situation where Leo Carlson has had 3 goals in 7 games in his rookie year. And now, Trevor Zegras is unfortunate. Yes, he does have a slow start to the year. But since you have McTavish, since you have Troy Terry, since you have Leo Carlson, Jamie Drysdale as well, it's kind of taken the weight off of Trevor Zegras. And I also am going to say Lucas Dostal has done incredible, 5-1 on the year. So for a young goalie in Anaheim being 5-1, he's taking care of business as well. So Anaheim's done exceptionally well due to their young players, and I did not see it coming. I will fully admit, I did not see Anaheim's early success coming. The LA Kings are 7-2-2. And for the LA Kings, it's a situation where a lot of people were shaky about the goaltending. There was a good amount of people who were suspect on Cam Talbot, on Phoenix Copley. And I will say, Cam Talbot's done well so far. Now, it's only 9 games in for Cam Talbot, so there's plenty of time to see what he can do. But Cam Talbot so far, goals against average under 2.2. And, I will say a goals against average 2.14 for Cam Talbot, save percentage over 92. So for Cam Talbot, he's done pretty well. Kevin Fiala has been their best player so far. I mean, Kevin Fiala has been everywhere you need him to be. Regardless of where he is on the ice, if you need him to be there, he has been there. And the fact that he is averaging a point per game for the LA Kings, that is exceptional for Kevin Fiala. And next in the standings, we're talking about the Pacific here on Vegas Hockey Hub. So Vegas is first, Vancouver second, then you have LA, you have Anaheim. Now this team has been unfortunate, but the Seattle Kraken are 4-6-2. I mean, Seattle had a lot of promise heading into the year. There were some people saying that they were going to come back and make the playoffs once again. And, you can't only make the playoffs with Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn is an exceptional defenseman. All right, Bjorkstrand is good, Swartz is good, but you need more than just 4 or 5 guys on a team. If you're going to make the playoffs, you have to utilize your entire 20-man roster, not just 4 or 5 guys. Yanni Gourde, Justin Schultz, who they brought over from Pittsburgh. I mean, look, there's some good players here, but once again, what happened to the rest of the roster? Because the rest of the roster just hasn't done much for the Seattle Kraken. And in terms of goaltending, it's a bit shaky right now. I mean, Joey Decord, Philip Grubauer, they have not done that great this year for Seattle. Now, I will say once again, if the team comes back, if the whole roster comes in and plays together, then Seattle might turn it around. But if they keep playing the way they are, Seattle is not going to look pretty this year. So Seattle 4-6-2, 5th in the Pacific Division. Calgary Flames 3-7-1. Now, a lot of people expected this. I really had no expectations for Calgary. I didn't see them being good at all. Elias Lindholm has been their best player so far this year. 8 points in 11 games. Leads all Flames players in points. And Jacob Markstrom, I don't know how to say this nicely, but yeah, he's not. I mean, he has a save percentage under 90%. Jacob Markstrom, I think he's on his way out of Calgary. I don't know if it's by choice or if it's by the trade deadline, but Jacob Markstrom, 1-6, only one win so far this year. Jacob Markstrom is probably on his way out. It does not look pretty for Calgary. Now, next is the surprise team by all the media darlings out there. The Edmonton Oilers are 2-7-1. So the Edmonton Oilers, who so many people handpicked as the team to win this year. Now, on one hand, you could smile and chuckle. But on the other hand, you can actually explain why it's happening. And the reason why it's happening is very simple. Draisaitl and McDavid can't be your only guys. We have been telling people this forever. Evan Bouchard is trying, but he's not great defensively. Zach Hyman is a good third piece. But where is the rest of your team? This has been Edmonton's problem forever. Where is the rest of your team? Your bottom six is weak. Your defensive pairings are weak. And your goaltending, who we've talked about before on this show, your goaltending is just bad. Stuart Skinner is trying, all right? I think Stuart Skinner is actually trying to make this team better. But Stuart Skinner has a save percentage of 86%. Jack Campbell has a save percentage of 87%. Like, this is a Edmonton Oilers team that is not good on all sides. If you didn't have Draisaitl, you didn't have McDavid, and you know what? You don't have Hyman. The Edmonton Oilers would probably not win a game. This Edmonton Oilers team is just so bare outside of their top three guys. So for everybody who's wondering why they're 2-7-1, it's because if you take away Draisaitl and you take away McDavid and you even take away their goaltending, which has kind of been the case this year, Edmonton is not doing good this year. They are not living up to their media darling expectations. And then last in the division, a team who hasn't won a game yet, the San Jose Sharks are 0-10-1. I want to put a formal request. Can somebody save Tomas Hertl, please? Tomas Hertl, it seems to be the only player who knows how to touch a puck now in San Jose. Like Tomas Hertl, and I think I read this somewhere. Tomas Hertl is the only player in San Jose who has more than 5 points this year. Not Mario Ferrero, not Fabian Zetterlund, not Anthony Duclair, not William Eklund, who's got some talent, some upside. Tomas Hertl is the only player in San Jose who has scored more than 5 points this year. Like, as a NHL fan, as a hockey fan, can somebody save Tomas Hertl? Can someone trade for him at the trade deadline? Because he doesn't deserve to be on this bad of a team. Like, the defense is just awful. The goaltending, oh my goodness. Regardless if it's Mackenzie Blackwood or Capo Kakinen, regardless of who it is, it's bad. I mean, heck, the San Jose Sharks put in a goalie a few days ago, a rookie goalie, and he has a current save percentage of 76. He has a goals against average of 7.8. Like, this San Jose Sharks team, as much as Vegas Golden Knights fans love to talk about it and love to smile at it, the reality is San Jose is just a bad team. And San Jose is not going to be saved anytime soon. Now, am I going to go so far and say that they're going to be the worst team in NHL history? I'm going to say no. But here's what I'm going to point out. The Vegas Golden Knights are all the way up here. You know, we're the Stanley Cup champions. We're all the way up here. And our bitter rival is all the way down here. So, for the San Jose Sharks, a Vegas Golden Knights fan, I will say, as somebody who's been watching San Jose forever, it's kind of fitting in a way. The fact that this team is this bad. Now, before somebody asks who is the worst team in AHL history, well, the Washington Capitals in 1974 went 8-67-5. Okay? The Washington Capitals only registered 21 points in 1974. Now, time will tell if San Jose is going to be that bad. I mean, heck, even Toronto and Colorado, when they were tanking, wasn't 21 points bad. As a matter of fact, I remember a long time ago when Edmonton and Buffalo were tanking for McDavid and Eichel. They weren't 21 points bad. So it's going to be fascinating as a hockey fan to see how San Jose falls, to see how bad San Jose is going to be. You know, are they going to get to 45 points like Edmonton did? Like, I remember it was either McDavid or it was during Nugent Hopkins. They were so bad, they only had 45 points on the year. Like, Edmonton only won 19 games. Or, as we mentioned with Colorado before they started getting good, Colorado was in the same boat as well. They only won, I think, 22 games all year. Or it was, I think it was something like that. Yeah, they only won 22 games in a full 82-game season. Like, it's just a really bad time. But yeah, for San Jose, please get rid of Tomas Hertl. He's too talented. He needs to go someplace else. Now, as we're getting towards the end of the show, let's get back to Vegas for just a second. So the Vegas Golden Knights right now are at 23 points on the year. The Vegas Golden Knights are having the best start to their career. So the year one that they lost to the Stanley Cup Finals. They went 51-24-7. They had 109 points. Year 6, where they won the Stanley Cup, they went 51-22-9. They had 111 points. The question I want to ask everybody here right now, it's still pretty early, but I'm going to ask it. Can the Vegas Golden Knights surpass their best franchise record? Can the Vegas Golden Knights get more than 51 wins on the year? The Vegas Golden Knights won 51 games in 2017-2018 and won 51 games in 2022-2023. So, as somebody who is watching the Vegas Golden Knights, I want to know from everybody watching all around the world, this is kind of our question here. The Vegas Golden Knights won 51 games last year, 111 points. Do you, with them already being at 23 points, already at 11 games won, do you see Vegas surpassing the 51 game mark from last year? Do you see Vegas winning more than 51 games this year? That's the question. So as we're recapping the Vegas Golden Knights Anaheim Ducks game here on Vegas Hockey Hub, I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. I just wanted to propose that question to everybody watching now. The Golden Knights are 11-1-1. Can they surpass the 51 game mark they did back in 2022? Because that was their best season in franchise history. Last year was the best record in franchise history. And they won a Stanley Cup. Can they do it again? Can they finish better than last year? So this is Vegas Hockey Hub. I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. And until next time, this is Vegas Hockey Hub on PR Connections Radio. And until next time, I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. Go watch hockey, go support junior hockey, and go Knights, go!